Let's talk to Clive Lambert. He's a director at FuturesTechs. Morning to you, Clive.
Good morning, Nick. How are you?
Living the dream Monday morning. Right, we've got a few slides to go through. Let's kick off with the first one, the daily chart of the euro against the US dollar. What are you thinking here?
I think we got a buy signal last week. And you know, one of the favourite patterns that us chartists look out for is that head and shoulders type of thing. We got the head and shoulders bottom there, three troughs, the middle one being the lowest. And when you break the peaks between those three troughs, which is that orange line on the chart, that gives us a buy signal. We got that last week, and then when we moved above 117, and then we got above 117.30, which was another area of resistance. And we've come back and had a look at that again this morning and held 17.30 on the retest. I like it. I think we're going up. We should break into the 118s this week, and then we've got some targets for the bigger picture at 119.90. And actually, when you do that, when you see these head and shoulders patterns, you can measure. You can put a measurement on the chart to give you a projection to the upside. And in this instance, it says 121.50 is possible at some point in that pair.
Okay, so we like that as a currency pair. Let's move on to cable, the Great British Pound against the US dollar. We've got a daily chart on the screen. What are your thoughts here?
Right, okay, so I mean the bullish chart we just looked at and the buy signal we got was mainly in euro US dollars, mainly due to dollar weakness, and we did see the same sort of thing happening in cable, but then obviously this one is responding all the time to Brexit chatter and news flow and whatever's going on with that, and we saw a big donk lower on Friday that gave back some solid gains we'd seen earlier last week. Now, it's not all hope is not lost. I mean, we got a buy signal a few weeks back when we broke that downtrend line, and we had a target at that point at 133, which is where we failed on at the end of last week. But the pullback, what we saw on Friday, quite severe, held a very short-term Fibonacci level at 130.50, and so I think there's still a ray of hope for the bulls. That could be rescued as long as we hold above 130.50.
Understood. Okay, let's move swiftly on to the next slide. We've got the Brent Crude weekly chart. Are you still on the ball here?
Yeah, well, have been since sort of this time last year.
Yeah.
Because actually, again, we've got a head and shoulders bottom kind of formation there. And when we broke above $54, as I say, this time last year, that one gave an upside projection target similar to what we've just talked about on the euro at 91.50.
Right.
Now, when you break above $54 and you start talking about it going to 91.50, you do generally sometimes get some funny looks, but we're nicely on the way. We're struggling. We've been struggling in the last month or two with resistance around 79.50 to 80.50.
Yep.
As we speak today, this morning, we are having a go at that again, and I think once we clear that, and then there's a Fibonacci level at 81.90. Once we clear those, we can get on with this move to 91.50. It's looking very bullish. And there's not much on that chart to change my mind.
Understood. Okay, let's wrap up with the EUA Futures, the carbon, the daily chart. You've been on the ball here forever. What are your latest thoughts?
Been on the ball forever, and since this time last year when it was down at 4 or 5 euros, it sort of went a bit parabolic on us a few weeks back, and it's something that a lot of my clients in the energy and oil and gas space are watching very carefully. There's a lot going on here, but yes, it got a bit carried away with itself at a few weeks back. Spiked higher, went parabolic. We had RSI readings above 80 on the daily, the weekly, the monthly. It was all a bit like, come on, this needs to calm down. And then bang, we had a big reversal. That took us all the way down to from 25.80 was the high euros, all the way down to around 18 euros, all within a space of 2 or 3 days. So right. a few people got shaken out by that, obviously. But actually, when I looked at the chart around that time, I I'd identified 1760 to 1780 as a big area of support. We've got a rising uptrend line, a nice, a less steep line, you know, a bit more sensible, if you like, and also a Fibonacci level there at 1760. You know how much I like my Fibonacci levels, and it worked like a dream. We held that area and we've bounced since. So for me, I'm still bullish. We go to 2580 again, and then we can look for a big area historically on this chart around 29 to 31 euros is a big area of resistance, so we can gun for that as and when we make new highs.
Clive, on that note, thought-provoking. Thank you very much indeed. That's Clive Lambert from FuturesTechs.